This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so um, we'll continue with the disconnection. So other day we created one disconnection document. What is the document? We'll find out. So based on the contract, we had created the disconnection document. Now let us see. This must be the document 71. Yeah. So this is basically utility contract 236 for the contract, for which we have the installation, and then for that the disconnection document 71 was created. Now at this point of time, a disconnection order has been created for which the service order has been created. That means the basic purpose of work management is upfront we are doing a process execution, creating a disconnection document, but taking into consideration of all the customization that we have done for the service object, that is a disconnection, it is able to create a service notification, and the notification number is 300130. Now, although it is shown as service order, it is not a service order, it's a notification. So we will copy. Notification is the intimation given to the service department. That means ultimately they have to take it forward in terms of scheduling the activity of doing the disconnection at the particular location, device location. So for that, we refer to the disconnection document and create a service order. Now, one thing we forgot to check. Now, when the service order is going to be created, that time we require the customer master number for the business partner, because traditionally PM module has been designed to work with the SD integration. So just like any document you have a partner. The partner for the service order has to be a customer. So we have to see corresponding to business partner what we have used. Is there any customer master? If it is not, we must create the customer master. Then only we'll be able to process the service order. Now in this particular disconnection document 71, our contract what we have used is 236. So for 236 contract, we can find out what is a business partner. So 236 display. Contract account is 5401. So if we double click contract account 5401, we will, our contract account is 5404. So corresponding business partner is 261. So for 261, we must have a customer created. So we will check whether customer is available. Otherwise, we have to create. System will create for us in the background. So 261. We had maintained one dummy customer based on which it is supposed to create, but it will also use different sales areas. So let us find out what is the sales area here. So it is okay. It has created correctly. 6,000 sales organization, 60 distribution channel, 60. So our customer master number is also 261. Okay. Now the particular sales area what we are using is 6,060. So 261 is maintained for the sales area 6,060 and then 60. In the enterprise structure, we also have to maintain the assignment of distribution chain to plant. That should have been done already, but we will check it. Go to enterprise structure, assignment, sales and distribution. Assign the sales of distribution channel to plant. So we will select by contents, sales organization, and distribution channel. our sales organization is 6,000, and okay, distribution channel is 60 and sales organization is 6,000. So it has been assigned to our plant 6001, which is also having the maintenance plant and the planning plant. So you must ensure whatever business partner for which you have the contract account, for which you have the contract, corresponding to the business partner, there must be a customer. If customer is not maintained, then you will not be able to create the service order, because in service order we require the customer master. So moving forward, we will go back to the display disconnection document, and then here our service notification is this. Based on this service notification, we will create the service order. So we go to work management, processing, service processing, order. We can create service order directly, or we can create service order with respect to the notification. So we can select here, create special order for the notification. You can select the order for notification. You can create the service order directly from the notification also. If you go to the change mode, from there also you can create, or you can refer it and then create the service order. IW34, order type is SM01, priority very high. This is the notification. Planning plant is 6001. Service order, detailed configuration will be done by the plant maintenance, where they will have the integration with the costing, cost center, controlling area, because there may be some cost involved. So they have to be posted to controlling area. And sometimes for the service order, you require some spare parts required. I mean, here it is not required, but in general, service order may also require procurement of some spare parts or some consumables. So using the service order, they can also do so many other activities. So the notification and service order, the customization will be done by the PM consultant. But here we are using standard order type SM01 to create the service order with respect to notification. Sales organization is 6,000, distribution channel 60, and our division is going to be also 60. This combination should have been assigned to planning plant. You say continue, and then it will find out for this particular sales area what is the customer maintained. That means BP should have been maintained as a customer for this particular sales area. So 261 is business partner. So you can see a very detailed information will be available. What are the operations to be carried out? What are the component cost? So it's basically disconnection, and then components are not involved here. Costing they will do. Costing is a big activity in the plant maintenance. So that will be carried out by the PM consultant. So now we will first save the service order. After creating the service order, they will schedule it and then release it. Okay. That means when the service order has to be executed at the site, that can be done only when they release the service order. With the service order released, they will print and give it to the concerned person, the service department person, and then they will go to the particular site for carrying out the physical activity of doing the disconnection. Our service order 4000160 has been created. Okay, so now we will go to again change mode, open the service order, and then schedule it. It has to refresh. So we have to release the order so that it can be saved. Order is released, and then save it. Now, based on the service order, the person will do the service operation and then they will submit the completion certificate. That means we have done the job. So then we have to enter the completion for the particular service order. So give the confirmation, go to confirmation, select the confirmation, entry, individual confirmation. This is the particular service order for which you are doing the confirmation and then save it. So the particular service notification was processed as service order was scheduled, and then based on that, the confirmation has been entered. After this is done, they will enter the disconnection status. Sometimes in the business, they might also set up the workflow. Workflow means automatic messaging to the concerned department. Suppose the service department has done the service operations, disconnection has been done, then using the workflow in ABAP, they will automatically make the system to send a kind of an email to the internal email to the user who is supposed to enter the disconnection status, because the disconnection process started with the disconnection document. Based on disconnection document, service order was created. Now service order is confirmed and then work has been carried out. So the information has to be entered into our disconnection document. So now we will go to the disconnection document, what has been created. Go to customer service and then process execution, disconnection, and then change the disconnection document. Our disconnection document is 71. And then here, enter the disconnection. Enter the disconnection. The disconnection activity is 1. Continue. And the disconnection status is 10. Confirmed disconnection is completed, and then save it. That means for the particular service operation, it started with the process execution, went to PM, again came back, and then in the disconnection document, we have entered the status. Now, our particular contract here is 236. So let us go to the contract, business master data, contract, display, 236. Our installation here is 238. So we'll select 238, ES31, enter the installation number 238. Now here you can see installation is fully disconnected. That means based on the confirmation what has been done in the customer service, this installation is disconnected. Disconnected means the device will not be working till such time it is reconnected. So if you go to the device particularly, it will show blocked condition. It is blocked for the operation. So if you go to device number 899 and see the status, it will also show in the red mark, device is currently blocked, which is disconnected. Okay. So the meter has been disconnected until such time it is processed back into the reconnection mode. It will not be able to supply the electricity to the particular premise. Okay. So this is a process what we're doing in the customer service disconnection, but integrated with the work management in terms of creating the disconnection document, then disconnection service notification, service order, confirmation of the service order, then entering the disconnection status in the disconnection document. Based on that, installation gets automatically disconnected information. Now, after the disconnection is over, as and when the customer wants a reconnection to happen, the process has to start with the reconnection. So for the reconnection also, we have to maintain the corresponding customization, just like how we have done in the case of disconnection. So similar set of customizations we have to do in the reconnection. So let's see how to do reconnection settings and then make this particular installation reconnected. So go to IMG and then select the utilities and then go to work management, master data, define the service object. Now previously you created a service object for our plant disconnection 6001. Okay. Now you have to create a new service object for reconnection. So select the particular line and then copy. So here we will make it as RECN, or we'll just not do it, we'll copy it. So DISC 6001. Copy. So we have created for the planning plant RECN 6001 as the service object, which is having order type, maintenance activity, same information. Now save it. Now we have to assign the service object to the set level along with the division. Set level is 003. So go to allocate the service object to division, and then here we can select the particular set level, select the particular line and then copy, and then here our service object will be RECN 6001. Select here, continue, and then save. So we have assigned our particular reconnection service object to division along with the set level. Come back. Now we will go to processing and then go to notifications. Define the notification code. Select here. Our notification code was created as TC00, RC00, Z30R, ZMDC, ZMRC, ZNTS, ZCS. This is for notification. We'll find out. Define activity, allocate notification profile to notification codes. D600. Our notification code is D600. So go back to the work management, define the notification code. So here our existing is D600. D600 notification, disconnection notification, copy it, and we'll make it as R600 disconnection notification. This is reconnection notification. Object. So our new service object here is R600, that is service object. Define the activity schema. So activity schema, we can we need not copy, because if you copy, we'll be unable to change the code of catalog for the activity. It is better to do with the new one. Okay, so select the new entry. R600 is the notification activity schema 1, and then here you'll select the catalog type. So here we have to see reconnect after the temporary disconnection. Previously I selected the disconnection. So here reconnect after the temporary disconnection and then save it. This is the activity schema. And for activity schema, we have to define the notification profile. So we will maintain a profile here, planning plant 6001. So select the particular line, copy. So planning plant is remaining same. Our notification profile, we'll call it as R600, and then this is remaining same. The activity schema will be R600. The rest of the data will be same. That is work center, plant work center, maintenance activity type. We are creating a new profile, notification profile R600 for the activity schema R600. Enter and then save it. And then allocate notification profile to notification code. Select the new entry. Notification code is R600 reconnection. Notification profile is R600. Enter and then save. Now define the plant determination for the notification. So here we will select the new entry. Our notification profile is R600, and then regional structure area is 6000, and the planning plant is 6001, and then save it. After this, we have to go to the reconnection settings in the customer service. Go to customer service and then select the process execution, and then go to define the processing variants for the disconnection documents. Select the customer, that's the customer request details. Here we have to maintain our reconnection code. So reconnection order code is R600 by default, R600. Enter this and then save it. So disconnection code and reconnection code have been given here. Okay, this is a reconnection code. Now come back. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there is no separate document to be created for the reconnection. The existing disconnection document itself, we are now going to reprocess. Okay, so go to customer service and then process execution, disconnection, reconnection, change the disconnection document 71, and then here you have to select create reconnection order. You have to select here create reconnection order. So now it is determining what is the notification code. Our notification code is R600, and the corresponding plant maintenance, that is the one which is supposed to do the planning of the reconnection, is R601. So first we have to save it. Once you save it, again it will create a notification. A new notification is created, reconnection order, and our notification is this. Copy this. For this particular notification, we have to create now service order. So go to work management and then processing, service processing order. Create the service order with respect to notification. Order for the notification. Order type is SM01 priority, and our notification is this. So select it and then priority is this, planning plant 6001, create. So enter the sales org, distribution channel, division, and then continue. So the business partner is 261, customer is 261. save the service order, and then once the service order is created, we have to release it, schedule it. So go to change mode, select it, and then release, and then save it. So service order has been released for the activity. Based on the service order, the person will do the reconnection and then file the confirmation. The activity has been completed. So now we will go to the confirmation entry for the particular service order, continue, and then save it. So now the confirmation has been done. That means the activity from the service department is over. Now based on this, the customer service process execution department has to enter the status as reconnection is completed. Just like disconnection status, we have to pass on the reconnection status. So now we will go to the customer service and then process execution, disconnection, reconnection, change, disconnection document. Here we have to enter the reconnection. Select the enter the reconnection, continue. The status is 20, confirmed, reconnection is completed, and then save it. So now based on this activity, what should happen? Our installation should come back to original status, that is reconnection. That means our particular activity installation is going to be activated again. Go to technical master data, installation change to 38. So now installation is not disconnected. That means it has come back to the original shape. So disconnection, reconnection are two activities upfront what you're doing in the customer service department process execution. But based on this activity, we are having a linkage provided to the work management module, under which we are supposed to process the required notifications and the orders. So that we are integrating because of the work management process. Otherwise, we have to create all the notification, order, everything manually. Okay. In some companies, they would not like to implement the work management. So they will do the disconnection document and then manually create the notification in the order. That is also okay. But usually this is the process. Since SAP has already given a facility in terms of a module that is the work management, we can use it. But even then, if you're not doing disconnection, reconnection to work management, we still have to implement work management because there are some process requirements where the system has to create a notification in the background, then only that process will continue. That we are going to discuss now shortly. The meter reading orders for the interim meter reading orders or the control meter reading order. Suppose if you want to create any control meter reading order or interim meter reading order, unless the configuration is available in the work management, we cannot do it. So that we are going to see. Again, coming back to work management, setting up new service object for the what you call the interim meter reading order or aperiodic meter reading order. Aperiodic means periodic meter reading orders are created by the meter reading department depending on the MRU, that is scheduled activity. But there are certain situations where we have to create a aperiodic meter reading. That will happen in the case of the control meter reading order or interim meter reading order. So there the customer service department will not come into picture. So you have no corresponding customization to be done in customer service. Directly we have to do the configurations in the work management. Based on that, these notifications will be created. So again, you are coming back to work management shortly after some time when you start working with the meter reading. Now, so far we have done our regular business processing, meter reading, billing, invoicing. Now we have done the disconnection, reconnection. Okay. Now we have to explore some more controls what we have in the meter reading, billing, and invoicing. Okay. In meter reading, the most important activity is we are creating a meter reading order as per the scheduled date, and based on the meter reading order, the person will do the meter reading. they will enter the result in the system. But when the results are entered in the system, it is supposed to do automatically a validation. Okay. The purpose of validation is to ensure our results, what we have collected, are consistent. Okay. There's no wrong entry done or unusual, observation has happened from the customer's consumption point of view. So in all such cases, we have to establish whether reading taken is correctly entered correctly, or whether suddenly some high consumption has happened, low consumption has happened. Then investigate the reason, because meter reading is the basis on which you are doing the billing. Okay. Tomorrow, if you send a invoice to a consumer, and if they feel suddenly the value has come very high, okay, and they feel something is not correct in terms of meter reading. Like there are some instances where we have seen in India, in some state, the customer suddenly got a bill for 1 lakh rupees. Okay, the person who used to get a bill for 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, suddenly getting a value of 1 lakh, okay, which is impossible. Okay, there may be something wrong, but probably there were no checks or there were no controls, and this is how it has happened. So in all such cases in SAP, what you can do, we can maintain some checks at the meter reading entry level. We can maintain some checks at the billing level. We can maintain some checks at the invoice level. These are one kind of validations what we will do. So first we will see the meter reading validation, what are to be done. Okay. Now we have a register, we have a device category. In the device category, we have maintained a register group. Without register group, we cannot create any device category. In the register group, while creating, we have maintained one very important information about the validation class. Okay. Without validation class, we cannot create the meter reading order. And also in the rate what we have created, which is enabled for the register, there also you are entering the valuation class. Okay. So if we go to our one-off meter, like what we have seen just now, if you go to change to 38 and go to the devices, device is 899. This belongs to 899, belongs to material 241. So material 241 has got a device category that is also 241. So if you go to the device management and then go to technology and then go to device category change, our device category is the material number, which is 241. Here we have got a register group, which is 26. Now if you go to register group in the 26, in the column here we have given a validation class. We can see here there's something called validation class, which is 0001, validation for the residential customers, validation for the non-residential customers. So what is the purpose of this particular validation class? Similarly, if you go to our rate, what we have defined, which is permissible at the register level, if you go to the billing and then master data, define the rates, change the rates, Jet 600 is our rate. So here also you are maintaining the validation class 0001 and then 0002. Here you maintain 0001. So what is this validation class and what is the purpose? Now, validation class is defined as per the business requirement. Here we have defined two of them. One is for the residential and one is for the non-residential consumer. Based on the validation class, we can maintain what are the validations to be done. That means suppose if you are doing the meter readings for the residential consumers meters, what kind of validation checks can happen? And if the validations fail, what should happen? So these are the controls what we are giving. There are basically two types of validations what we maintain. One is called independent validations. There is something called independent validations, and another is called dependent validation. Dependent validation. The independent validation means validation is applying to individual register of the meter. In our case, we are using a single rate electricity meter, which has got a single register. Whatever validation we are maintaining, it is applicable for that particular specific register what we have. Tomorrow, imagine we have got a 7 economy meter, which is basically used in certain countries like UK. It was also modeled in India, some state like Telangana. There, the meter is having more than one register. That means a meter is having 7 economy meter, 2 registers, on peak, off peak. That means registers are having internal control where they are set automatically when to start. That means sometimes some time of control is given in the meter, morning 6 to afternoon 6, or morning 7 to morning 6, one register will become activated, which will do the meter reading. And then from the rest of the time, the second register will come into picture. So every month you are doing 2 meter readings from the same meter. One meter reading is on peak, one is off peak. Like in particular state in India, they tried with a meter having 3 registers, on peak, mid peak, off peak. That means every month we are taking 3 meter readings, on peak, mid peak, off peak. But now here, the meter is having a register 3 numbers or 2 numbers. So we have to do independent validation. That means on peak register will have its own validation, off peak register will have its own validation. That is called independent validation. The dependent validations are used depending on the combination of register. That means the dependent validation is used for particular scenario for all the registers put together. So we are going to study one such dependent validation called serial switching. It's called serial switching, where you have something called main meter and the secondary meter. Main meter will have its own register. Secondary meter is also having its own register. Individually, we are doing the meter reading. Based on that, we come to know what is the consumption for the all secondary registers and what is the consumption for the particular area belonging to main register. Then all these results put together, there will be a dependent validation. Okay. So independent validation means specifically applying to a particular register in the meter. Dependent validations will apply to the whole device itself, depending on what kind of registers we are having and what is the application. So we will see dependent validation in the due course of time. Let's see at the independent validation. What are the possible validations? So we will go to IMG and then go to device management. Select the utilities and then go to device management and then meter reading and then go to validations. Independent validations. Select here. Define the validation class. The validation class is basically grouping of all the type of registers which will undergo through same validation process. That means all the single rate meters, that means having meters having single registers used in the residential consumers will have the same validation rule so that you can uniformly apply these rules to a number of installation. So here we have defined 2 of them, 0001, 0002. Then allocate independent validations to validations. Select here. Now independent validations can be happening 1 or 2 or more than 1. That means for the same class, we are doing more than one validation. If we maintain more than one validation, it means all the validations have to pass. Okay. Unless all the validations pass, we cannot say the meter reading is acceptable. If, let us say, theoretically, you've got 3 validations, 2 of them have passed, 1 has not passed, then it is an error. Okay. So meter reading results, what we enter, will not be available for the billing unless the concerned supervisor or the manager will check why the faulty results have come, how it can be corrected. Okay. So that is the purpose of the independent validations. These independent validations are happening through system program. Okay. Now for 0001, originally SAP had given 2 validations. I've added one more. What is the first validation? 01, zero consumption. Okay. Zero consumption means last month meter reading was 3,700. This month meter reading is also 3,700, which means actually consumer has not consumed anything, 0. Okay. There could be reasons why this 0 consumption is coming. Maybe the meter is not reading properly, that means it could be faulty, or the person who entered the result has not then entered the data correctly, or whether consumer has not consumed. So we have to investigate. Okay. So zero consumption is one possibility for which validation we can do. Then the second validation here we have given 0.6. What is 0.6? Tolerance limit relative. Okay. Tolerance limit relative. I will explain what is tolerance limit relative. And then 0.3 is permissible number of estimations exceeded. Okay. In many companies, what to do, because of the organizational issues,
What is
sometimes we
this
are not.
what is this 0001?
Which one?
0001.
0001 is a validation class which you are assigning it to registers in the meter.
Okay, fine. Okay.
You got me? Yeah. Okay. So 0003 we are having here the permissible number of estimations exceeded. Okay. Now sometimes what happens in many companies, what they do, because of the shortage of manpower or incrementing whether customer is not available, so we cannot actually do the meter reading. So in such case, what to do? Estimation is available in the meter reading. So it will do the estimation based on the historical consumptions. It will propose this could be the meter reading for this particular month. But as you know, it is not actual. Okay. Once in a while, it is okay. But if you keep on doing estimations every month, month after month, what will happen? We are erroneously building the real meter readings are not entered. But at some point of time, we'll do the meter reading anyway. Okay. But that time, suddenly some differences will come, which you are not noticed in the previous months. Suddenly, the meter reading may come very high, very low. But then, whenever you do the estimation, the regulation is you have to inform the consumer. In the invoice, you have to print this month we have not done the meter reading and we are estimating. But in many countries like in US, consumers will not accept more than 2 estimations or 3 estimations. It depends on the country. And if it is so, then if you're doing probably for the 4th time, 3 times you are allowed. But if you do it for 4th time, then it will throw the error. It's saying that you cannot do this. You have to go for the actual meter reading. So such kind of multiple validations we can build in the validation class, and accordingly when you enter the meter reading results, the checks will happen. If the checks happen and then validation fail, the system can respond in two ways. One is it is just giving you a warning, that means a soft error. Another is the error itself, that means you have entered the results, but it is erroneous. So if it is error, then it will allow you to save the meter reading, but you cannot build it. That means meter readings are blocked. Automatically, it will put a status as your results are blocked for the meter billing purpose. These are called implausible results. That means when you enter the meter reading results, the results were validated, validation has failed, but it is allowing you to save the meter reading results. But such readings are not available for the billing unless the lock is removed. But for the purpose of identifying, suppose today we entered around 500 meter reading results for one MRU, about 3 of them are having this issue. So these 3 results which have been saved will be called implausible results. Then the particular concerned manager will open the implausible results for the day, start analyzing each one of them, and take the particular precaution or the corrective measure so that results can be released for the billing. Okay, unless results are released for billing, they will not go for the billing. Now what is this relative? Basically relative tolerance. Relative tolerance means if you go to here, define the tolerance limits for the validation class. Here we will see we have maintained tolerance limits for 0001 validation class. Here, of course, you have not maintained any scale. If you want, you can also maintain the scale. That means starting from 0, which means actually from some starting point to some consumption. Let's say if meter reading is for up to 300 kilowatt hour, one validation. If it is more than 301 validation, if it is more than 700 meter reading result, what will be the validation? Okay. So here we are saying anything that is measured, okay, this particular validation will apply. Then here we have maintained how the system should respond. Okay, we have maintained it as error. Error means it will show with the red mark, your validations have failed, okay? Because of which your results are locked for the billing. You cannot do the billing. Now here you are given percentage deviation 25% and percentage negative deviation 25%. So how does it work actually? Suppose last month meter reading was 5,600, okay? This month meter reading has come to, let's say, 6,400, okay? That means previous month was 5,600, this month is 6,400. So what is the actual consumption? 6,400 minus 5,600, that is 800 consumption, okay? Now this consumption should be checked whether it is okay or not, okay? So for that purpose, what it will do, depending on the control what you are given the installation, it will read the historical consumption data, and then based on that, it will decide, based on the previous month's consumption, whether the result is okay. If it is up to 25% more, it will accept, or if it is less than 25, if it is less than 25%, then it will accept. But anything more than 25% more, anything less than 25% less, it is supposed to give the error. Now, in the installation, we maintain one information with regard to meter reading. Actually, there are two controls.
How is the less than 25% applicable, sir?
Sorry.
More than 25%, more than 25% is understood. But what is the logic behind less than 25%?
Yeah, I will explain. Now, we will go to ES31. That means we go to particular installation. Now, in the particular installation, we have got two controls. One is called MR control, meter reading control. Here in the meter reading control, we are maintaining residential consumers, non-residential consumers. For the particular meter reading control, we will say what are the permissible, the estimations, what are the permissible customer meter readings. In some companies, they will also allow meter reading to be done by the customer itself, okay? But again, you cannot ask every month customer to do the meter reading. Then how much you will permit, okay? Let's say we maintain 3 permissible for the estimation, 2 by the customer readings, okay? So as long as they are well within this, it is okay. Otherwise, it is also causing the error, okay? So one is the meter reading control. So right now what we'll do in the next installation, when you maintain, we will also give the meter reading control. And for meter reading control, we will see what are the possible checks it can do. Now here you can see base period category, okay? Base period category is the previous period or the period of the previous year, okay? Previous period means every month when you do the meter reading, for the previous period, what was the consumption, okay? That information you will have. Say for example, in this particular situation, in this month it is coming 800. Previously our meter reading was 5,600, and prior to that it was 5,000 meter reading, okay? It was 5,000. That means for the previous period, the consumption was coming to 600, okay? Now, if it is 600, 25% more we are allowing. So 600 into 1.25, okay? That will come to something like 600 is the consumption into 1.25. So our consumption should have been 750. It should have been 750. So what should have been our maximum meter reading in this month? Previous month meter reading was 5,600, including 25% deviation of the previous consumption, it is 750. So our maximum average consumption could have been something like 6,200, okay? But here our maximum meter reading should have been 5,600 plus 750. That means we should have got something like 6,350, but it is coming 6,400. That means it is exceeding the positive deviation. Now, on the other round, 600 is the previous consumption, 25% less we are allowing, okay? So 600 into 0.85, 0.75, 0.75. That means consumption for the new period could have been 600 into 0.75. Because every month you don't consume more only. Sometimes you suddenly consume less, or meter is not working correctly. It might have noted the lower consumption. So 600 into 0.75, okay? It is coming to 450. So if this is the consumption, what could have been our meter reading in this month? It should have been 5,600 plus 450. Okay. Then in that case, it should have become 5,600 plus 450. If you add 5,600, it will come to 6050. That means in the meter reading, what you enter, the meter reading what you actually enter is judged between 6050 to 5,600 plus 750. That is 5,750. 5,600 plus 650 is how much? 5,600 plus 750. It should come to 6350. So when you enter the metering results, if the result is in between, it is validated, it is approved. But if the metering is coming something like 6,500, it is exceeding the maximum consumption. If the metering is coming to something like 5,950, then it is also not correct. It is going below the possible metering, that is 6,350. That means system is doing here a validation for the exceeding consumption and the minimum consumption. Okay, that means minimum, it should not go below minimum, it should not go above minimum. This 25% is not universal. It depends on the company. Sometimes they may say 30% allowed, 40% allowed. But here we are giving a comparison of the consumption based on the previous period. Okay. Now, another possibility is that instead of previous period, we are going to take previous period of the previous year. Okay. That means suppose if you are doing the meter reading in the month of February 2020, based on the consumption what has happened in February 2019. Okay. February 2020, we are doing the meter reading. What was the consumption in 2019? Okay. Based on that, it can do. But then here, it is only possible if it is more than 1 year. Okay. If the installations are new, then we cannot apply it. Okay. So mostly it is a previous period. But one practical problem will come here. Suppose I have done the installation, it is activated. Let's say installation activated in the month of January or February. Okay. The January it is done. The move-in happened in the January. Meter reading we have done. But then when you do the first month meter reading, what is the base value? Okay, it is the first meter reading. Let's say we have got an installation when the move-in happened. Move-in can happen immediately in the same month or any month. Suppose installation is active from 1st of January 2019. No occupancy. The consumer moved in the month of only May. Okay, that means January, February, March, April, no consumption. May 1st we are doing the meter reading. Then what is the value of the previous period? We don't know because there was no consumption at all. In that case, how will the system do the validation? That's why we maintain initially a base value consumption in the installation structure. So if you go to this particular installation 238, we can see what is the periodic consumption expected. A base value is given. So if you go to device installation and then installation structure, and then periodic consumption maintain. Okay, so 238 is the installation which is active from 1st of January 2019. Okay, then we maintain expected consumption as 720 kilowatt hours for 30 days. Okay, this value will come into picture for the initial 2 months. Okay, there is some kind of algorithm which is built in the system. First 1 month or first 2 months, it will not bother to see what was the actual consumption in the previous period. Okay, but rather it will take 720. That means on 720, 25% more, 720, 25% less. Same thing will happen in the next month also. Okay, but then from the third month, it will take the previous 2 months average and then previous 2 months consumption. Based on that, it will do validation. From the fourth month, it will start taking the previous month consumption as a basis on which the validation will happen. So practically how these validations will happen, we have to see in the system. We have to create one backdated installations. Maybe we will do move in the 1st of January 2019. And then we keep on doing the meter reading results every month for the next 3 or 4 months. Every month you enter the meter reading result, how the validation will happen, independent validation. We can also check for the meter reading control, that is how many permissible, estimated or how many consumer readings are possible. Okay. So tomorrow we will create some, or I will create the installation data ready, and then we will carry out the independence, or we'll check all the scenarios. Okay. And then meter reading control is given here.
Hello.
Check it. Yeah. You're asking something?
Yes, sir. Zero consumption also is a type of validation, no, sir?
Okay, it's validation. You're right. Zero consumption is a validation.
Sir, it is
Because-
mainly based on the tolerance limit, no?
Huh?
That is
Yeah,
based on the tolerance limit.
Yeah, one is tolerance limit you are giving relative. Either you can
Yes,
give
sir.
relative or can you give absolute also. In relative you are giving 25%, but you can
Okay.
also give absolute. Zero consumption is a separate validation. Apart from
Separate
relative,
validation.
separate validation itself. That means same meter reading is repetitive next month. That means consumption is zero, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Here we just define that zero validation.
Yes.
Where
Zero
we will
consumption.
maintain the value, sir? Zero consumption value.
Zero consumption value, it will happen, no? Like suppose last month meter reading was 5,700. This month also you have taken 5,700. So what is the consumption? Zero.
Zero. Yeah.
When you enter the result, it will do the validation, isn't it?
No, sir, I'm asking that we no need to maintain that valuation class, valuation type that zero
We have
consumption validation.
we have assigned, no? Like for example, if you go to utility, device management, meter reading, validation. In independent validation, one of them we have taken as zero consumption. Here you can see the first column is 01. 01 means zero consumption.
Yes, sir. 01 is zero consumption. No, first we'll maintain any value. I am asking.
What value you want to maintain?
No, this valuation class 01 for the zero consumption is equal to 0. Then it goes for implausible, like I'm asking.
Yeah, see, that's why. Actually, when you do the meter reading result entry, 3 validations are happening. Suppose if I enter meter reading in this month, 3 validations will happen. First validation is for zero consumption. How it will happen? Suppose your last month meter reading is 5,700. This month also you entered 5,700. So what is the consumption?
0 it is.
That means it is failing under zero consumption, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm asking. If meter reading difference is equal to 0, then it directly goes to
error. It directly goes to error.
Okay.
You got the point. Zero consumption means what? It is one of the check what you are doing. You enter the result, but the resulting value based on the previous month consumption is 0, which means consumer has consumed 0. It is failing under validation rule number 1. Validation rule number 1. Okay.
Sir, I'm asking that tolerance limit, suppose absolute or relatively, that we maintain some percentage within that. If the consumption within that percentage, so it won't give any. It won't give the implausible reading. It gives a plausible.
It won't give plausible. You can go and check the meter reading validation. Every time you enter the result, you have to go to validation screen. There it will show how many validations have happened, how many are failed, how many have passed. It will also show what is the average meter reading expected, what is the minimum, what is the maximum. It will show. Okay. But let's say zero tolerance, it has passed, but it has failed in the relative tolerance. It is exceeding the consumption. So it is showing what should have been the maximum consumption.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm asking. Means that zero will maintain a tolerance limit. No?
Yeah. It will show. Okay. That's what I'm trying to show tomorrow with a practical example how it will happen.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.